So, all my friends in Belfast, make sure to support Enoch Burke. By the way, I'm trying to put together a fundraiser for the Enoch Burke family. If you don't know who Enoch Burke is, Google him, E-N-O-C-H, Enoch Burke, Enoch Burke. Now, as you know, there's two Irelands. There's the Orangeman Ireland, known as Ulster. Of course, I call it Belfast because I would have been on the Jacobite side. Many of you know I used to live in Scotland, so I support the Scots. So good seeing you guys. This is, it looks like it's gonna rain. It's super early right now. It's super cold outside. So we're just getting the show off. Overturn civil asset forfeiture laws. That's right. We need to overturn the King's Deodan. We need to overturn the King's Deodan laws. So you guys probably saw my show the other day where I went into the history of the medieval Deodan and how it's being used to steal our assets. It morphed into Admiralty Maritime law later and was used by the king to seize ships, captainless ships, things like that. Good seeing you plead the fifth. Thomas Rockholt, Rhine Labs. Did you know? Did you know? Well, Rhine Labs, well, that was my Scottish. All right, Jimmy, I used to live in Motherwell, man, and it was great, Jimmy. And I was there when Bill Clinton and all of his Marxist buddies, who now ultimately started the European Union, using that trade deal, shut down all of the Craig and the steel production and put a lot of Scots out of work. And we've just seen how the billionaires and these really, really wealthy people have been able to, like with government-run media like the BBC, have been able to destroy people's lives in the name of climate change or whatever. But it's all just a scam because they control the messaging. The BBC, government-run media, has allowed their country to be flooded with people hostile to their way of life, foreigners who support jihad. Unbelievable what's gone on in Ireland and the UK. If you talk about it, you'll get your channel banned. So anyways, I'm going to go work out. And this is kind of, look at this, how beautiful this is. I mean, just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Hey, we don't stop. That's right, Thomas. So I'm going to talk to you this morning about, let me see here. Hold on one second. The caudate neuron. So the caudate neuron, the caudate or caudate neurons in your brain are the area of the brain that give you pleasure, like people who smoke, people who do the COCAI, you know what drug. That caudate neuron also savors revenge and sweets, like sweet revenge, right? And so we're going to talk a little bit about the caudate neuron and about justice's mind saith the Lord and all these different things. So the Swiss did a study on revenge years ago, and they found that the people who got their revenge actually felt worse afterwards. And so this segues into this situation that I'm having with this Irish demon fellow. This Irish demon fellow seemed like a really cool dude, actually. I'm not going to lie. He seemed more reasonable than 99% of the so-called cop watchers or people who think that they're smart, who spend a lot of time on YouTube. So I thought, I'll try to engage this guy because he was so happy that Chile had his channel taken down. And so I was kind of hitting him up with my Scottish accent saying, we should debate in the new. And he went for it, and he gave me his email, and I shot him back a response from a email that's not associated with my name and stuff. So I'm still hoping that he'll check his spam, and because I'd love to debate him about this, because it seems to me like people want Chili to get punished, want Chili to have his life turned upside down for unjust reasons. And it got me thinking about revenge and the caudate neuron. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, this is an example, but I didn't know how deep it went until I heard more of this guy's show. So it looks like Irish Demon is upset at Chili because I guess Chili got a bunch of copyright strikes against his channel and prevented him from making money. I didn't know that. And I don't know that. I mean, I just know what he says, right? There, allegations are allegations. And as you got friends with Chili for a long time, helped him run his channel when he was unlawfully locked up and imprisoned. Let me see the comments here. Hey, BZ, what's going on? Raya Hoot. Hey, good seeing you guys. Thanks for getting up early with me, guys. So, hey, look at the sunrise. Wow. And I'm coming at you live from Summerlin, and it is cold. BZ, what's the temperature out here? I don't have my my thermometer on, but I'm sure you could tell me. Yesterday when I was out here, VZ said it was like 28 degrees or something. But anyway, so I'm looking at this dude's channel and listening to him, and so I cut in and I'm like, you know, because he's saying that it was probably Chili that sabotaged his own channel. And I was just like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would he do that? He wouldn't make any money. And he was in the process of trying to recover all the money that he had lost. And one of his comments was, and again, I'm sort of paraphrasing, I don't remember everything because I was actually right in the middle of a court call, just kind of listening in. So as you guys know, I'm a lawyer licensed in Texas and California, and I do primarily catastrophic injury cases, but I also do Second Amendment law, and I got my start in criminal defense and appellate work. So that's why I sort of keep an eye on people who are falsely imprisoned and falsely accused, like Enoch Burke in Ireland, and I support people like that, people that might be unpopular because of the democratic system that people are into, where the majority gets to decide the fate of the individual, which is exactly what our founding fathers were against. So let me see here. I got some people coming up on me quick. Go into the DLZ clips community, and what does it say here?
I'm right.
Oh, morning, ladies.
Morning. Got one more coming.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, dude. So, early bird gets the worm, ladies. So, let me see here. Yeah, so I'm on his channel, and you know, he's saying a lot of things that just don't really make a whole lot of sense. And I was trying to point out, he's saying, well, Chili makes so much money, why is he firing his, if Chili makes so much money, why is he laying people off since his channel got shut down? And of course, me being a business owner and having lost millions of dollars during these last COVID lockdowns, when Governor Newsom just decided to shut down the entire California economy, when our firm had dumped millions of dollars into freeway billboard ads, I can tell you what caused our firm to fail is that I didn't lay people off, that I continued to employ people because I care about them. And I think Chili learned his lesson when he was locked up for 4 months, because 4 months in jail to not be able to run your business, build your brand, or go live would, I mean, effectively destroyed his ability to make money. And he was in the process of trying to rebuild his channel. I think he should have been going vertical more because YouTube changed its algorithm to be more like TikTok. And of course, we know Google is pushing hard to put TikTok out of business so they can take over that vertical, and they control all the money and they control Congress. So that's probably going to happen. But yeah, my friend Bill Slosky and I used to interpret the Google patents And I predicted this a long time ago that this would happen because they have so much control over the government. But that's another conversation for another day. So back to the caudate neuron before we get too far into what happened with Chili's business. Is there is a desire that makes revenge sweet. Hey, thank you, Plead the Fifth. I appreciate that. Plead the Fifth just threw me a $2 super chat. Yeah, the Ironton saga was pretty cool too. Integrity Now News. So, yeah, there is this desire for people to want revenge. But as Sir Francis Bacon rightly pointed out, even back then, that revenge isn't sweet. Ultimately, revenge will tear you up. And look, I was just looking at all the different podcasts of people celebrating, just like they did when Chili was falsely locked up, illegally jailed. They were so happy because they don't like Chili as a person. And me being a lawyer and being an advocate, being an activist, I've seen personally that Chili has helped a lot of people with his own money cover their court costs, court fees, even from jail when he was running out of money, trying to make his brand stronger by advocating for people less fortunate who were falsely imprisoned as he was. But he started running out of money, and that kind of segues into what happened to me as well. Here I am trying to support my staff, but because our business thrived off of car accidents and we had all these billboards on the freeway, less people were on the road. So there was a smaller demographic of car accidents. So we basically just were able to cover what our advertising expenses were without bringing anything in. So it really crushed the firm big time, and we had to lay people off anyways. So all it did was delay the inevitable. So let's get back into what the Irish demon said. And that was that, well, he's making so much money. He could handle it. Why does he want to lay these people off? Maybe his appeal will get granted. And again, I'm just saying that because I like doing the Irish accent thing. Thank you, Steve Conkler. I appreciate it, brother. Here's what I like about Chili's particular community is they all recognize Chili's flaws, but they also recognize the good that he does. So that's, I'm going to walk this way because I got this crazy poodle that I can't stand coming my way. They recognize that he does a lot of good too. And so I always try to look at people based upon we're all God's children and we're all flawed. And anyways, let's get back into revenge. Well, first of all, it makes sense to me that Chili would want to lay people off because he already knows that that's a huge community guidelines violation. And then, of course, the other argument that the Irish demon was making is that, and again, I'm not here to make ad hominem attacks against him, and I felt that he's not someone who readily engages in ad hominem attacks either. That's why I agreed to debate him. And I'd like to debate him. Check your spam, bro, mate. I sent it to you from my Circle of Legal Trust account to the Irish Demon Vids email that you gave me. Would love to talk to you more because I think that we should think about burying the hatchet and trying to do what's right for the people. And government accountability, especially in your country, is more important than ever. And I don't know if you're in the Catholic part of Ireland. Well, it's all secular now, but you know what I mean. I don't know if you're in Orangeman, Ireland, or if you're in Dublin, Ireland, mate. But wherever you are, we need to try to team up and help each other. So let's see here. No, I didn't get a chance to see what Let's said. Hey, what's going on, DLZ Clips? That's cool that you're up so early. All right, guys, so look, the reason why I'm doing these shows is also so I can get a workout in. So I'll try to talk to you as I'm stretching and getting my workout in. So as you guys know, My background is in judo and Muay Thai. So we're gonna do some light stretching, and hopefully you guys can get motivated to do the same thing that I'm doing. And I'm still recovering from some bad kidney stones, man. So I can barely touch my toes right now because I'm hurting so bad. But at least I'm out here doing it. So just bear with me. Bear with me, lads. Hey, Chili, you should be over here training with me, bro. And we'll get back into the show in a minute, but you guys got to help me get through this workout. I wouldn't even be doing this workout right now if it wasn't important for me to talk about what happened at Chili. And because I am a lawyer and I work about 18 hours a day, and a lot of you guys think I'm bullshitting you about getting up at 0400 to work. Well, you can see here I am. All right. Gosh, that was shite, man. Let's go get a little light stretch here. So I wanted to get back into the caudate or caudate neuron, and I can't see all your comments right now, but I don't know how many pull-ups I just did, but man, that was a pain in the, that hurts. Now those are close grip pull-ups, and that's because after years of judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, my shoulders are completely wiped out. So if I do wide grip, I can barely move. Now, so this is a hasty workout. I encourage all of you, especially you fat body lawyers, to work out at least 3 days a week. And if you can't get to the gym, there's no excuse. You can come to the park. You can find a slide. Hopefully you guys can see that. So I'm gonna do some incline presses like I would at the gym by using a slide. And I don't count, I just train to failure. All right, let me give a couple for chesty puller. Another one for the Marine Corps. For all my brothers who have died, for my father who died from Agent Orange. Another Marine. All right. All right, so I'm not gonna do abs this morning, but just stretch. I'm gonna stretch my abs. And again, guys, this is just a hasty workout, all right? This is by no means a replacement for anything. But the idea is that you keep the habit going. Positive habits like getting out and exercising, super important. Especially for you men with families. Give me 1 second, guys. Be right with you. All right. So as you can see, it wasn't much of a workout, but it was enough. So it was enough for somebody who is in a class of people with one of the highest incidents of heart disease and heart attacks, litigators. We're right up there with dentists. So let's get back into the caudate and run. There is across the board in the so-called auditor community, a desire to get revenge against Chili for, maybe it's his success, maybe it's because they don't like his personality, The the Irish demon guy kept playing a video of Chile saying that he wished people would get cancer and all that. And, you know, in a snapshot to condemn him. And look, we've all said things that we may or may not regret that could label us as bad people. Look at this, guys. Look at this beautiful sunrise. I don't know if you can see it that well, but look at that. Holy crap. I mean, this is God's country right here. God's country. Give me a bunch of ones for Summerlin, Nevada. How beautiful it is. All right. So I'll just walk through the park because I don't see any people around, and it's kind of embarrassing doing a podcast while people are walking their dogs down the sidewalk. But anyways, I hope you guys like my little hasty workout. Way too many carbs, guys. I'm going back on a high protein diet. Vegetables, protein, and water. I'm gonna try to get myself squared away. I do appreciate the memberships and the super chats today, guys. I would give you guys more shouts out. It's just hard to see this thing, but Steve Conkler got a PFC Chevron. He's one of my paid subscribers. And who else is here? We got Vegas VIPs, man. And for some reason I have the chevrons say welcome Lance Corporal, but those are PFC chevrons. I don't know how that happened. I got my daughter helping me with the channel. So anyways, I just want you guys to know that, look, I'm not Chile. Chile's not me. I have a different approach because I haven't had Chile's life experiences. I mean, I've been falsely jailed, but not like Chile has. And he's got a lot of reason to have a lot of hate in his heart and a lot of rage. And, you know, I've seen him become kinder and gentler as he's matured with age. And I certainly don't condemn him for saying things that he said, because he's also done a lot of good. And so I think Irish Demon and you other guys need to recognize that, you know, you guys who are without sin, you know, you can cast the first stones. And being civil and stuff like that, it didn't come naturally with me. You know, I moved out of my house when I was like 16, got a job in construction, got kicked out of school for fighting. And I was on a bus to to MCRD, actually MEPS and then MCRD San Diego on my 18th birthday. And I was injured during MCT. I was one of the first series to ever go through MCT, and they made all the O3s also go to SOI. So I was injured in MCT and went also to to SOI. And then I stood with my class as they graduated, but they didn't let me graduate with the class because I wasn't able to participate in the marches. And ultimately I got boarded out. And over time my injuries progressed, and now I'm at 70% disability. And all you hear is the people who hate Chile try to denigrate my military service and accuse me of not being in the Marine Corps, or accuse me of all this nonsense. One guy said that I was violating the Uniform Code of Military Justice for wearing my Marine Corps cover, my boonie cap, which is nonsense. That UCMJ section has to do with confusing people into thinking you're on active duty status. And that was designed primarily because people might try to sneak onto a base and do harm. So it's the other issue too, is I've been a victim of major ad hominem attacks and attacks against me personally and my business simply for supporting Chile's mission. And I just think that that's terrible, because we should all be trying to help each other. So I don't want to digress too much. Let me see here. Hopefully I'm still live. I'm not seeing the chat anymore. Hold on a minute. Let's see here. Trying to get the chat back. Well, for whatever reason, I think I lost some of the chat. Here we go. All right. Hey, right on, Rhine Labs. Well, yeah, so that was a problem with me too, because Rhine Labs said I tried to get in the Marine Corps, but they wouldn't accept me because I didn't have a high school. And yeah, so I attended an independent study program where I worked full-time as a painter's apprentice, and then I went to school at night, independent study program on Chapman Avenue in Orange. And my teachers cut a deal with Canyon High School so I could graduate with a Canyon High School diploma. And I was on a bus to MEPS, like on my 18th, man, just like that. So you're right. Yeah, the Marine Corps, despite people saying that they're the dumbest, at least when I was in, had the highest educational standard requirements besides the Air Force, except that we're straight. At least we were back then. Little dig at the chair force, guys. So what I wanted to get to is, okay, I'm live. Thanks, cops. So, all right, so let's get into it. So this desire for revenge and hatred against my buddy Chili, all it really does is hurt you, based on this Swiss study that was just recently done. So the desire for revenge gives you a sweet feeling, and that's because of your caudate neuron, and it's real. It's a real feeling, but people who get revenge typically don't feel fulfilled once they've gotten it. In fact, sometimes they feel really guilty, especially if they're not a professional narcissist, right? But the idea is that I wanted to have a civil debate with the Irish, man, I forgot his name again, Irish demon. And of course, after he gave me his email and I emailed him and stuff, I was watching or listening to his podcast, and it became very clear to me that he really has it in for Chile. And then I was seeing another video with the San Joaquin guy, who I think is really awesome. I mean, I love his channel. And then I saw another one. Oh, then Dick Bag Patrol cut in and immediately wanted to personally attack me, call me an ambulance chaser, whatever they want to do. I mean, I don't get it. You guys are like grown men. And most of us are freedom fighters and we love our country, but yet if you support the wrong person, that makes you an enemy, I guess. And I'm not so, I'm multidimensional. I try to look at the good in everyone and try and look at the positive things that they can offer. And I've seen Chile bring in a lot of people into the government accountability fold that otherwise would not be in that fold. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys agree with that. And I think BZ knows this, and Rami, you guys know this, that I don't see eye to eye with you guys on everything, but I support the mission. Just like when I was in the Corps, we had guys in my unit that I couldn't stand, but we were all fighting, or hopefully we're gonna fight, because you join the Marine Corps because you want to fight, towards the same goal, which was, well, for us in the Marine Corps, it's primarily the brotherhood, but we all had a mutual goal to support each other. And we put all those those barracks emotions aside when we were out in training, because we knew that someday our lives might depend on it. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys agree with that. Someday, if we don't form parallel systems and start supporting each other, we're in real trouble. I mean, look what's happening to the UK. They flooded their country, as well as Ireland, with jihadis who hate them. And the attacks against women and children are up super high. And if you say anything about it, you'll have your Instagram or your social media accounts banned, and you'll have the local police come and try to arrest you and throw you in jail. But yet the jihadists, they don't do anything to them. And it's a real problem. And if we don't start bonding together, we are going to be replaced by people that hate us. And that's another reason why our founding fathers never supported democracy. In fact, they spoke out against it. And I'll say this again, Ben Franklin. Democracy is when two wolves and a sheep show up for lunch and decide what's on the menu. A republic is when two wolves and then a well-armed sheep shows up to contest the vote. And that's the difference between a constitutional republic, which we have, and a democracy. Democracy is not mentioned in any of our founding documents. And the primary reason we went to war against the king is because he tried to seize our powder houses and our guns to prevent us from being able to rebel. So we know that government-run media like the BBC, or here NPR, or PMSNBC, or CNN Communist News Network, all they talk about is wanting to ban guns. And of course, they are the mouthpiece of the state. Look at this rainbow, guys. I don't know if you can see this. Look at that. I mean, if that's not just beauty right there. Wow. So, you know what they say, the early bird gets the worm. So, yes, Shulamite, YouTube deleted Chili's channel because somebody was able to get in and live stream porn. And of course, they probably knew that that would be a violation of the terms of service, and that was obviously an act of revenge. Now, Irish Demon immediately retorts that Chili probably did this to himself because he wants attention, like, well, you know, that the one black dude who hired a couple of black dudes to try to pour bleach on him, and ultimately he got found out, he got caught trying to say it was Trump supporters and all that. You know, because the Democrats have to fabricate racism because they can't find any. So they have to fabricate it because the myth of racism is what strengthens, unfortunately, the Democrat Party. It's identity politics. They've got to keep people separated. And I see the same thing happening with the so-called auditor community, where people are doing everything they can to, look at that beautiful rainbow. Holy crap. And that's a real rainbow, not the one you see on the flags. And so it's like I see the same thing happening. They're doing everything they can to denigrate and tear each other down. And I was thinking to myself, if I was the CIA or the FBI, that's exactly what I would want. I would want people trying to tear each other down. And so I'm not here to make ad hominem attacks against this Irish demon fellow. In fact, I did email him. I'm hoping that he'll respond, because I'd love to go on a show and address point by point the things that he said. But I did notice, like Merb, he wanted to do the whole let me hire a moderator. In other words, you know, like PMSNBC or CBS, somebody who supports my position, and pretend like it's a neutral moderator. I don't want to have a moderator. If you want to have a discussion with me, we can do that. And then Melania says, let's get to the point where I'm trying to. Let me see here. Thank you, Christopher. So Christopher just threw me $5 super chat. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Right, and I see that. So Christopher Ruff said, DirectD is morally dishonest. This is what Chris says. He refused to answer any of Chili's questions. Chili, glad you're getting justice, plus the channel back. I don't know, did Chili get his channel back? I hope he does, because I think it was unjust. So I do want to throw something at you, Melania, is I was confronting Irish Demon about the fact that everybody was so happy that Chili got thrown in jail, even though it was a false arrest and it was unjust. And Irish Demon redeemed himself in my eyes by saying, I was never in support of that. I don't support people being wrongfully accused. And so I have to take him at face value. If he believed that, and that's what he said, at least paraphrasing, then bravo, brother, because that's what I am here to talk about. Thanks, Melania, for putting me back on track, is that we can't support, false imprisonment and all that stuff because you don't like someone. Because just like what we saw happen with Orange Man, I mean, political persecutions because the Democrat Party was butthurt that he ran as a Republican, and so they got all these bullshit charges against him, and all that stuff's getting thrown out now. Of course, we knew it would, and it was all designed to try to prevent him from running for president. And it actually got him elected because people like martyrs, at least Americans do, because we were born in revolution. And many Irish, at least the ones who escaped, feel the same way. So with respect to Irish Demon, number one, I think that it's absurd that you would think that Chili would try and sabotage his own channel of over 600,000 subscribers. And I know that he was making an enormous amount of money compared to me, which is basically nothing. And when he got thrown in jail for that 4 months, that destroyed his channel. And the limited help that either Brian or I were able to give was nothing compared to what Chili could have done. We basically just kept him in the news. But, you know, it died. The channel died. And he was slowly starting to bring it back. And so what happened? People that hate him obviously found a way to either hack in or steal his codes to get in, because they knew that it would take him down. And all you're hearing from is all these people, again, the same ones who celebrated him being falsely imprisoned, so happy that, again, for a wrong reason, that his channel be taken down, a wrong reason. And so I guess what I'm trying to point out to you guys is, you're the very same people who would have supported Joseph Stalin. You're the very same people who would have supported Marxism, Leninism, Stalinism, and probably do. I mean, most Europeans do, right? And you don't care. It's the ends justify the means. And I'm a justice-minded person. And if Irish Demon was falsely accused of something, I would support him. If San Joaquin was falsely accused of something, I would do my best to support him pro bono if I had to. To me, it's not really a battle of personalities. It's a battle of right and wrong. And there aren't enough people out there who have our mindset of rebellion, fighting against the crown, the king. And it's absurd in my mind that we're all fighting each other while the real enemy is strengthened. And the real enemy is Hobbesian, Leviathanic principles. I am a natural law advocate. I believe that all of our rights were granted by an all-powerful creator, John Locke. There's not enough with Chili's approach, that's fine. I guess the point that I'm trying to wish that his channel gets taken down, because you don't like his personality, for a wrong reason, is absurd. Imagine if your employer fired you because of your sexual preference or your political point of view. And everybody at work celebrated because they just didn't like you as a person, because you supported Trump or because you supported Sleepy Joe and the communists. How would you feel if nobody supported you, even though you were unjustly fired? Well, it's no different than what happened to Chili. So it's okay if you guys don't want to like him, if you want to hold a grudge against him. But in my opinion, it's absurd for you to think that it's okay for someone to be unjustly jailed, unjustly convicted, etc., etc. And then the deflection also is mind-boggling to me. People are saying that, I'm going to check it out in a minute, right? It looks like Chili might have got his channel back. And if that's the case, that's awesome. Because it was unjust what happened to him. But to see all these people celebrating that he lost his channel, when we all know that he didn't do that. People are trying to say that it was Chili, streaming porn and all this stuff. It's nonsense. We all know that that's not what happened. People are now trying to say that it was me or Brian because we helped him. That is still down. Well, hopefully he's going to get it back up. My opinion is that the people seeking revenge against Chili are the ones behind taking it down. And based on my recollection, Chili had like two-tiered authentication in place. It was a nightmare to get in to be able to do his shows. So obviously somebody had to have advanced knowledge of hacking to be able to get into his channel and do what they did. But Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, people are saying that me and Brian are good suspects. Well, those are the same people who probably are behind it. But the bottom line is, to be able to get into his channel, you would have had to have he would have gotten notifications, right? That's the problem. But you know, we'll let all those people figure that out at a later date. Oh boy. So looks like my reception is kind of going in and out, guys. But anyways, the point that I was trying to make earlier is that, yeah, I'd love to have a debate with the Irish Demon and anybody else who thinks that an unjust conviction or an unjust charge is just. Because when you're in the minority, I'm the person you're going to be reaching out to. Somebody like me who's willing to put aside any kind of personal feelings to fight for you for the unjust allegation. And that's what it's all about, is you guys need to set aside your personal hate against the guy and look at it like this. What if this was you? What if this was your wife? What if this was your child and they were falsely accused? How would you handle it? And so that's kind of where I'm at. What do you guys have to say about that? Let me see here. But we don't get on YouTube and lie about it. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure what they're talking about. Hey, Rami. I don't know what John Piddock is saying. DLZ. Yeah, so John, I'm right here. Why are you lying? I've never been charged. Yeah, that's the other thing, is I do see that a lot. That, well, no outlet. I'm just walking through residential streets. Oh boy. So I'm probably going to get knocked off again. Well, let me see if I can go out this way. Okay, so let's try to get back into it. So a lot of people accuse me of lying. I had some person say that I was suspended from the bar, which is a lie. My license went inactive for about a month. That's because we didn't receive a notice in the mail from the bar, like several thousand other lawyers, when a new regulation was passed. Because Tom Girardi had stolen a bunch of money from his clients. He was a very famous personal injury lawyer. So they passed some new law that you have to file some special report with the bar. And a lot of people didn't get the mail. And thousands of lawyers had the same thing happen to them. And there's actually an active dispute with the bar right now, several thousand lawyers who are complaining that they didn't receive notification, and also the upload form, whatever form it was, didn't work, because even when you filled it out, it didn't upload properly. So, but you have people who just spread bullshit lies about people and thinking there won't be any consequences. And so when people say Chili lied about it and stuff like that, I take that with a grain of salt, because there's so much misinformation and disinformation about him and things that he's done. So I would take everything that these guys say with a grain of salt, guys. I don't think there's any truth in any of it. It's just a bunch of very angry haters, people who might be angry at his success or whatever it might be. But when you get your information from people that hate other people, don't expect it to be good information. I guess that's the point that I'm trying to make. Now, guys, I really appreciate you joining me here this morning. And DLZ clips. Hey, Chili, did you get your channel back? I mean, let's announce it here on my show. Man, now I've got a cramp in my. So one of the problems with having a knee injury is you walk with an irregular gait, and so I'm kind of hurting right now. But it was worth coming live today to talk to you guys. So anyways, take a look at that though, the causate or causate nucleus, part of your brain, is a part of your brain that desires revenge. And revenge isn't sweet. Most people who have gotten revenge feel bad about it afterwards. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord, and I do believe that. And being someone who used to believe in that, I was younger, right, wanting revenge. I've realized with wisdom that it really just hurts you. The adrenaline taste, the harm that it causes to your internal organs, your psyche. It's not a good thing, guys. So don't ever want revenge against people. It's not a good thing. It says that I have no sound. You guys got sound? Give me 5x5s if you got sound. Let me see. What does it say here? Awesome deals eclipse. Almost. YouTube confirmed it was a HJ. It was hijacking. Waiting for them to repower up the channel. Congratulations, guys. Give me a bunch of ones for Chili getting his channel back. Hey, look, score another win for justice, guys. I mean, all you guys who hate Chili, this is another example of how retarded you are. I mean, why don't you guys stand for justice? If you don't like him as a person, I understand that. But why do you guys celebrate when injustice is done to him? Don't you think that can happen to you too? Look, I know a lot of people don't like me because I support Chili, which is, to me, stupid. But why on earth would you ever support hating someone because they're standing for justice? If you don't like me because of my personality or something that I've done to you, that's one thing. But hating me because of the causes that I support when they're just is ridiculous. And it shows that you're not a good person, because we should all be trying to support each other and doing what's right and standing for justice. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys agree. Now, from the time that I met Chili, from the time that I visited him in jail, I've seen him become far more dynamic, far more forgiving, far more humble than just a year ago, right? So what makes you guys think that you're the arbiters of good, of right and wrong, that you can decide to condemn someone like that when they're not in violation of anything? They didn't do anything wrong. And again, Irish Demon, I would love to debate you about Chili trying to take down his own channel for attention. That is crazy. He had monetized videos on there. There was one that I did as a guest, I think, that had over 100,000 views. Pretty sure that generated residual income for him. Why on earth would he try to take down his own channel? I mean, the logic in that is absurd. And so that's what I wanted to debate with you about, is just the logical fallacies that you and a lot of the people promote against him out of hatred or revenge, as opposed to, it's fine. It's one thing to not like someone, but it's another thing to wish that unjust acts can be the end of them. Now, really quick, guys, this has been a long one. Hopefully you guys had a good time having me be able to chat with you. I'm still 100% down to have a debate with the Irish Demon if he wants to reach out to me. I have emailed him twice now, so check your spam. Hopefully I got your email right. But no, I don't want some moderator. What do you need a moderator for, mate? I'm not going to sit there and try and attack you. I don't represent Chili. As soon as I debate you, I'll be conflicted out from representing him in the matter. So I don't see any issue. I'm not coming after you criminally or trying to, because I know in your country you don't have free speech, right? So in your country you're terrified if you insult someone, you could go to jail. But in America, that's not how it is. And I'm not here to insult you, but I am here to, like it says in the Bible, I think it's in Matthew or Mark, don't judge the person, judge the doctrine that they live by. I mean, if your doctrine is one of revenge and hate, I want to isolate that and talk about that, because it's not right. Hopefully, Melania, you can hear me. And then Robin McDonald, I back all heroes, and I don't know what you mean by honorable and of good character. A lot of people didn't like Chesty Puller, and he's one of my heroes. A lot of people didn't like Smedley Butler, but he's one of my heroes. And the things that Chile has accomplished in the so-called auditor community has been monumental. And he's brought a lot of people together that otherwise wouldn't be out there fighting for justice and for good reasons. And if if that's what it takes to have somebody like that out there who can bring people together and help form parallel systems, you know, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's all I'm trying to say. And then to attack me personally and try to attack my law practice because I'm fighting for justice, that says more about you than it says about me. I'm not here trying to say that making statements like you wish cancer on people is a good thing. And I think that he knows that's not a good thing to say too. But if you've been falsely imprisoned and been falsely arrested and thrown in jail, you're going to be suffering from major PTSD and a lot of psychological issues. And that's something that, you know, especially a woman should understand, especially if you've had children, that, you know, it can damage people for life, Robin. And so and a lot of good people are hated. Trust me, a lot of good people are hated. So I highly recommend that you look at yourself and look in the mirror before you try and, you know, like I said before, let him or her who's without sin cast the first stone. I'm not here to try and justify any of the things that anyone has done that are bad. But I am here to say that if you're an innocent person and you're falsely accused of a crime, I don't care if you're Lucifer, you should not go to jail for a false crime, for a false allegation. And that's the point that I was trying to make with Irish Demon the other day. And that's the point that I would like to make with guys like San Joaquin, because I love the guy's channel, man. I think he's got an awesome show. And same with, who's the other guy? The Beckia guy, the Long Island guy. Love that guy. So, right on, Milas. That's right, Robert. Yeah, looks like I got a lot of people who believe in the Lord, and that's great. Yeah, we should all be willing to forgive people and make sure that we look out for our brothers and sisters, and rather than try and condemn them, try and help them. If you got somebody that you know in your life who's suffering from PTSD or some kind of trauma, try to be there for them, pray for them, try to help them. Don't sit there and try and condemn them and celebrate the fact that they're losing their only form of income to support their family. Yeah, Tuapri as well, SW. You know, but I think Tuapri is doing a parody of Long Island audits when he does the whole Beckia. But look, Chili, I'm super, super glad that you got your channel back. I'm hoping that you got your channel back. And I hope that people learn from this show this morning that we should not want people to be falsely convicted of crimes they didn't commit. And I mean, people that are like that remind me of the royalists who supported the king. That's why our founding fathers wanted due process, that you'd have notice and opportunity to be able to contest a false allegation. And in Chili's case, he was falsely jailed for over 4 months. And he, in my opinion, it set his life back by years as far as economic ability to earn money, because the algorithm changed from the time that he got locked. Now it favors vertical, and horizontals don't get you likes and subscribers anymore like they did. And the whole world changed in just 4 months because that's technology. And so it really hurt him. And Melania, other people say that they hear me, so I'm not sure what's going on, honey. But look, I got to get to work. I am totally down to try and help any of you guys in any way that I can at any time. You guys know how to get a hold of me. You can get a hold of me through Rami or through BZ Watchdog. I do personal injury law in Texas and California, but I also do, some other types of work, and I have friends who can help you in other states if you have problems. So whatever I can do to help and, try to make the world a better place. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe, make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. Semper Fi, do or die.